Okay, I think we're ready to start here. If everybody could have a seat. I'd like to welcome everybody to our last meeting of the league year. I can't hardly believe it's here already, but it is. So we're getting ready for summertime, so that'll be nice. So it's great to see everybody here. We'll resume again in September, so you have lots of time to do your painting and photography and everything over the summer. So hopefully that'll be a fun time for you. So thank you to everybody who brought refreshments tonight. It's always good as usual. And thank you, Joe, for coordinating all of our refreshments. You do a great job with that. All right, do we have any new members here tonight? Yes. Can you tell us your name? And what kind of artwork do you like to do? Okay, acrylics and extra. Well, welcome, Roby. Good to have you here. Other new members? Did you guys introduce yourself last time? Okay, and you're joining this time, so that's great. Okay, any other new members? How about guests? Anybody bring a guest? Okay. All right, well, good to have everybody here tonight. As y'all know, our meeting tonight will be our annual contest, and it's going to be really fun to get a chance to look at all the artwork that was brought in and try to choose our favorites. After our business meeting, Jasmine Fleetwood will give us details on what we need to do to conduct the contest. So thank you, Jasmine, for being our coordinator for the contest this year. We appreciate all you've done to get this set up. Is this on? Is this causing feedback? Okay. All righty. So we have some great news to share regarding our public galleries. Recently, we've added another gallery space for all the members to display their artwork. We're now scheduling artists to display their artwork at the Seven Oaks Park in the St. Andrews area. So Seven Oaks Park can accommodate 2 artists at a time with up to 16 pieces each. So that's a lot. And the period will be for a 2-month display period. So if you'd like to pursue this opportunity, just go online to our website and look under galleries, and there you'll find all the current places that we have opportunities to display our art. There's about a dozen or more, but Seven Oaks is our newest one. So you can indicate your preference. You can choose to say, I'd like to display in one place or 2 places or several places. And then Diane Neal, who's our gallery coordinator, will get back with you in regards to where she is placing you for that time. So there's different time frames you can display. Some businesses ask for 1 month commitment, might be a 2-month or a 3-month. So take a look at that list and see what might be appropriate for what you'd like to display. But anyway, we've got the new Seven Oaks Park, so that'll be really something. I think, Kay, I'm going to have you come and talk to us about Still Hopes, what you wanted to mention.
We already have our dates for Still Hopes, and I'm still wanting 50 artists. I get 50 pieces, but it would be nice if we have 50 different artists for a judge to look at. So take in will be November 29th. So start thinking about it, and please, think about it. Let's get 50 different artists with something to show. We always have 50 pieces, but we want the artist. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be coming up before you know it. Seems like summer goes by and then it's time to really start thinking about Still Hopes coming up. So our May meeting tonight is where we vote on our new officers for our next league year. So before we vote on our slate of officers for the league year, I would like to say thank you for allowing me to serve as your president for the last 2 years. Thank you for all your encouragement and for coming alongside of me as I learned about my new role. I stepped outside of my comfort zone. So I hope you were bearing with me as I learned how to stand up here and talk in front of you all. Thank you. And to do all the behind the scenes work. It's been a privilege to be your president, and I hope I've served you well. So I appreciate the opportunity to serve the league in this role and work with such wonderful people. It's been great. So I would also like to give special recognition to our executive committee members. Some aren't here tonight, but some are. And they've served alongside me for the last 2 years. We stayed together as a team for the last 2 years. So it was great working together. First of all, a special thank you to Lainey McWilliams, our vice president. She's unable to be with us tonight. But she served us so well by finding and coordinating all of our monthly presenters. Among other things, she was in charge of planning our Christmas party. So she just does lots of behind the scenes things as well. So I'd like to thank Lainey for her dedication to our art league and serving us so well. I'd like to thank Shirley Britton, who's been our league secretary, who helped with many events during the past 2 years, but was also in charge of taking the minutes at our board meetings. Please keep Shirley in your prayers as she just lost her husband Saturday. Yes. Yeah, he's been ill. I don't know how long, but he's been fighting cancer, and yeah, so he died suddenly on Saturday. So I believe Kay said the memorial service is set for this Saturday, Dutch Fork, Dunbar, and visitation is at 10 o'clock, service at 11. Is that correct? Okay. So keep Shirley in your prayers and her family. Tough time. And she's been part of our league for a long time, and just hate to see her go through this. So anyway, we appreciate all that she does. Our treasurer, Stephanie Arnold, is here. And Stephanie is to be commended for all her hard work keeping our financial records up to date for the past 2 years. So we appreciate all your hard work, Stephanie, and dedication to the job with everything financial and keeping us straight with our money matters. So thank you, Stephanie. Our parliamentarian this year, Kay Fox, has been such an important part of our executive committee. She has brought with her much knowledge to share from being so involved in the Art League, as well as having been our past president before me. Kay also chaired the Still Hopes Committee and was also part of the annual juried show this year. And I believe this coming year, she's going to be chairing the Still Hopes Committee and the annual juried show. So she is going to be calling on you for help, because there takes a lot of people, especially with the annual juried show. So when she calls you and says, could you possibly help me out? Think about doing that, because she's really putting her foot forward and saying, I'll do this. I'll try and do this. So, and I know she'll do a great job, but she does need lots of people to help her. So, Kay, you are very much appreciated for all you have contributed to our Art League, and you continue to do so. And then there's Barbara Tusink, our webmaster. Barbara's given so much time to our league and has gone above and beyond and has served us like no other. Barbara, you are to be commended for the many, many things you do in helping to make our league so successful. You have helped in ways that most people are unaware of. You have been there to answer questions and help me as I was learning my role as president, as well as have answers for others when needed. You give of your time in so many areas to serve the league, not just being a webmaster. You are there for many events, as well as coordinating the community art projects. And those that have served with you on the board know how special you are. You're one of a kind, and we appreciate all you do to help make the Art League the best it can be. In light of all that Barbara does for our league, I would like for her to come forward to be recognized by our membership. So come up here. So thank you, Barbara, for all you do to make sure our Art League is so successful in all we do, and for going above and beyond in your duties as webmaster and organizing our community art projects. We appreciate you so much, and more than you will ever know. And I just want to give you a little something because you are special. Aw. Thank you. So besides our executive committee, I'd also like to thank those who have given of their time and talents to serve on our board this year, as well as those who served on committees and our service and support team. Without your help, we wouldn't be able to do all that we do for our league. It's been a great pleasure to serve with all of you. And a big shout out also goes to many members who also volunteer for short-term projects or specific needs during the year. You're all much appreciated for your ongoing dedication to the league. Special thanks to Don Morgan over here for his role as all things technical guy. We appreciate you coming to serve our league and not only controlling our sound here in the room, but also making it possible to offer Zoom to members who can't be here. So thank you very much, Don. I'm so grateful to be part of this community of artists who encourage one another. We strive to keep learning, and we share the love of the arts with our community. All this to say, thank you for a great couple of years as your president. And now we can look ahead to a team of new officers and others who will be serving this next year. I'd like to call Maureen Carter to come lead us in the election of our new officers.
Okay, I'm going to announce the nominations. So President Michael Naughton, if you could stand up. And Vice President Bobby Mann. Secretary Jan Lane. Oh, there she is, yeah. Treasurer Jim McCausey, back there. Parliamentarian, of course, is Yvonne. And our webmaster is Barbara. And so, yay! So before we vote, I'd like to ask if there are any nominations from the floor for any of these positions. Okay, well, let's do a vote. All those in favor of the slate of nominees?
I think technically you have to have a motion. I make a motion to adopt what the board has proposed.
Okay. Is there a second? Thank you. Yes, okay. So do we need to take a vote?
We need to say any further discussion and then take a vote.
Oh, any further discussion? No, okay.
All in favor?
All in favor, raise your hand. Ooh, it looks good. All right. Opposed? Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Congratulations. Yay. So I also want to make a pitch for some of the committees that we still have vacancies for. First, and doggone it, I don't have my glasses, so I hope I can do this. The community art, Barbara Tusink is on it, but like I said last time, she really, really, really wants somebody else to help with that. Like really, okay? Grants, we need somebody to handle the grants, which is really an important part of our money. Yeah. We really need somebody, so think about that, okay?
And for that one, you might want to say, for the grants position, for those of you who don't know, we have pretty established grants that we just basically renew each year. So it's mostly a matter of just following up with the paperwork. We encourage people to look for new grants, but it's not like you're going to be going out and hunting money from scratch. It's more of the managing the paperwork, just so you know.
Okay. Publicity. Sandra Oliver's been doing this for the last year or so, maybe more. And we have a new member who has just signed on. Ruby, would you like to stand up? Ruby is going to handle publicity. Yay. And this is her first meeting. How about that? Yeah. Let's see, and what's the next one? Oh, sponsorships. Yeah. Karen Larrabee did that, and we need somebody to take that over, and she'll be glad to show you the ropes and help you out any way that you need. But this is like soliciting money from the community.
And again, we have a pretty established base of people who like to donate.
Yeah.
So you're not starting from zero.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing to it. Yeah. We need somebody to handle our Facebook posts. So anybody that's familiar with Facebook and knows how to do stuff, yeah, we need you, okay? And I guess that's it. Okay. No, we don't need a greeter. Wait a minute. Do we have a greeter? We have a greeter. Chris Carson? Yeah.
Oh, is she gonna say?
Yeah. You're not? What do you mean? What? Whoops. Really? Oh, I could have sworn you said yes. Okay, well, we need a greeter too, okay? All right, and all the committees need help too, so thank y'all. There we go.
So I'd like to thank Maureen and Sandra Oliver and Kathy Schwam. Thank you for your efforts in helping to find our new officers as well as fill positions for next year's committees. And like she says, we're still looking for a few more. So if there's something that kind of interests you, talk to one of us and we can tell you more about the job and get you in there. We're a great group to work with. We don't bite or anything. So anyway, think about helping out a little bit. So congratulations to our newly elected officers, Michael and Bobby and Jan and Gemma. I look forward to serving on the board with you next year. All right, does anybody else have any other questions before I turn the meeting over to Jasmine for our annual contest? Anything else anybody needs to say or? Yes. Well, you go ahead.
It's, you can enter two. You can enter two, but as I say, it's first come, first serve. If we get 50 different artists, which is the goal, then everybody will have one. But the first come, first serve, just like last year. If you're the first one to register, you know you're going to get, you got the first slot open. We had 39 artists last year. So we're only need 11 more, but then we need all 39 of those to come back. So just remember that. Any other questions about that? Oh. Yes. Oh, no, it's open anything. And, and it's all media. We have photography, and then we have all medias of the fine arts, and it is juried and awarded. And, we hire a juror to come in and do that. It's not by anybody that's a member of our league. Yes. And it cannot be a piece that's been in another show, another juried show. In other words, you could bring it into this show and it be used in Still Hopes. You can do the tap gallery on monthly things and it can be used. The library show, it can be used. It just cannot be something that's entered into our annual juried show in the spring or Still Hopes in the past. Any other questions? We take in on November 29th and we pick up on January 31st. You'll be submitting, we'll start in September for all that to start. And normally we do the last day of registration will be at our November meeting, because I try to do that so that if you need that third meeting, if you're a new member and you came, because you have to have the 3 meetings, and if you came September, October, November, you're covered. So All right, yes. Yes. If you go into the website, there is no 3D on this because there's no place to set it around because this is a retirement home and we don't need anybody falling over anything.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to our looking around at the prints here. So Jasmine, come and tell us what we're going to do next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jasmine Fleetwood. Thank you all for coming and congratulations to the artists. Sorry, I have a very soft voice. Even a microphone doesn't make it that loud. In lieu of a presentation, we will be holding our annual members contest. The contest is free and open to all members, and this year's theme is childhood memories. We'll begin by introducing each artist that made an entry, and they will come up here and give a few minutes speaking about their piece. After all of the artists have had a chance to come up, we will break for about 10 or 15 minutes, and everyone will walk around the room and get a chance to look up close at each piece, and then we'll be able to vote. So I've got some ballots over here and a ballot bucket that you'll put it in after you've had a chance to look at everything. Let's see, we have ribbons that will be awarded for first, second, and third place. And we will begin with the piece called Daddy's Store. Marilyn Rawls, would you like to come up and speak about yours? Yes. And if you just like to carefully, the cords are right here, bring your piece over to this easel and then you can speak up here into the microphone. I was trying to give everyone a heads up. I'm sorry if I didn't catch you.
Well, mine kind of just tells the story just by looking at it. This is my dad's. If you're an old timer from Chapin, you probably remember Melvin Slice's store down at Hilton. And I was rummaging around in some old drawers and came across all these documents and pictures and just thought, okay, that's my childhood memories. You know, that's where I was when I was a child. So I found some objects and papers and just different things and put it together for my collage. So I hope you'll enjoy it.
Thank you. Oh, yep. Hold on. Let's take our piece back to our spot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Karen, would you like to come up and speak about focusing on the past? Yeah. Kathy, you'll be next if you feel comfortable.
The title of this piece is Focusing on the Past. And since I like to recycle, this is a recycled painting that was all done in a former May show contest. But it fits the theme perfectly and I love the piece, so I decided I would re-show it. And my piece focuses on old childhood memories. I'm old. These are what we did. We went outside. We rode our tricycles. There's the dirt path. We had tire swings and rope swings into the lake. And that's how we spent our summer days. And in this piece, it is an acrylic painting, mixed media. And what I did was I layered the piece and I literally peeled back the layers of time to get the focus on the past.
What have you seen him?
No, I don't, his dog was sick today, so he didn't make it.
And Sandra, you will be next with Hopscotch Memories.
So,
Here you are, Kathy.
this is an acrylic painting. It's called Precious Moments and Other of my favorite things. This picture is very sentimental to me because when I was a young girl, I could never put my gloves on. And my mother was always taking my fingers out of the wrong finger hole and putting them where they belong. And I remember looking up at her, and I'm gonna get emotional, and seeing how much I loved her and what a wonderful person she was. The rest are all the things that I did and I loved. There's my, I did a little ballet. I had a parakeet that talked to us. I was a fan of Archie, and music was always in our family because everyone was a musician or an opera singer or something like that. Bicycle, my father would go and get like skeletons of bikes and put them together and make bikes for my brother, my sister, and I. And we had a dog that was a little hero. Her name was Ginger. She saved our lives by letting us know someone was trying to rob us. And then keeping dolls from circuses and all the other little things that we did as children. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, and this is Sandra with Hopscotch Memories, and Gemma, you will be next.
I grew up in a time that was prior to computers, prior to cell phones, prior to tablets. So to have fun, we had to get up off our sofa and make our own funs. So this is a hopscotch diagram. I tell you one thing not to do. I put chalk over top of this and then I sprayed it to preserve it. It turns gray. We don't want to do that, but we rode bicycles. My dad would love to have had 2 boys rather than 2 girls, I think. So we played badminton, we played croquet, we played basketball, all of those things. Cards, running through the sprinklers. Some of you are old enough to remember that. But those of you who are too young, these are called 45s. And we had 33 1/3, which were the big, you can find those now because those made a comeback. And then you had 78s, which is what my parents listened to. And then you had 45s, which is what we listened to. And so we played music and things like that. My first experiments with art and with Gemma, who is my sister over here, who's not happy with me right now. So I've got the little mask up here. Every year, my parents' anniversary was in July. We were out of school. So we put on a play or a performance every year for their anniversary. And one year we needed more characters than 2. So I laid down on a piece of cardboard on the picnic table and Gemma traced around me. And I don't know how many of you remember paint by number kits. The little tiny things of paint that you got. We painted the entire thing with those little tiny things of paint. So that was my first introduction to painting. And this is Hopscotch Memories.
Thank you so much. Oh, I keep forgetting to.
I know that's okay.
I should remind you. I will try to remember. Come on up, Miss Gemma. And she has a little bit higher.
Newberry.
Oh, no. But that's okay, we'll have
I'll help you.
fun, Sandra. But anyway, actually, this painting I was going to draw for something else, and Sandra said, "Oh, go ahead, put it in." So, since I've never done a painting before for y'all, I brought it in. Sandra was a few years older than me, so unfortunately, I didn't get to play a lot of the things that Sandra did because her friends did not want a little kid hanging around. My main thing was to go in our backyard of my grandmother and swing. And Daddy used to say I talked to the clouds. He said, on my bicycle, tricycle, whatever, I was always looking up and talking to the clouds. And my grandmother, I spent a lot of time at her house, especially on her back porch, because we could play dress up in the screened in back porch. So this was in her backyard.
And I spent a lot of time on the swing and playing dress up on the back porch and that sort of thing. And she sang, she was of German descent, and she sang a lot of songs in German. And one of them was Swing Me Just a Little Bit Higher. And it was over the garden wall. So that's why it's called Just a Little Bit Higher.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have Barbara with I Hope You Dance. You don't need this, but.
Yeah, I probably don't need this. I talk loud. So this is I Hope You Dance. And when I was young, I liked to be out in the woods. I like to be outdoors for pretty much anything and everything. And I would hang out out there and then I would explore and I would just make up songs in my head and dance. And I was a little crazy then. I guess I probably still am. But anyway, so this reminds me of that. And I just want to read a poem to you because I'm not big on talking otherwise. You guys know me. We dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, we dance for fears, we dance for hopes, we dance for screams. We are the dancers, we create the dreams. By Albert Einstein.
Thank you, Barbara. Next, we have Michael with Heat. And Lisa, you'll be next.
Okay. This is also sort of repurposed. I did this last year when there were all the fires out in California, and I called it Heat. But when I was trying to think about what to bring tonight, I was remembering not just South Carolina. I'm from Pennsylvania, and believe it or not, in the summer, when we were kids, it used to get hot 3 or 4 weeks during the summer, and I mean it was really hot, often mirroring what was happening in South Carolina. And I can remember, lying on the bed in the house, and we had no air conditioning, like lots of you had no air conditioning at the time. And so I thought it was appropriate for tonight. So it's called Heat.
Thank you so much. Next is Lisa with Two Old Dogs. And Brenda Clark will be next.
I will try not to get emotional about this, but this is my daddy. And this is his old dog, Duke. And wherever my daddy went, Duke went. And wherever my daddy and Duke went, I went. And so we lived out in the country, 37 acres of land, and we had a lake that attached to our property. And it had this old dirt road down to it. And we would walk down that road to the lake, jump over the fence, crawl through the fence because it belonged to Duke Power. But what the heck? I only got caught once or twice. And we'd go swimming, we'd go fishing. And so I have such fond memories of going up and down that road with my daddy and Duke. And so this is Two Old Dogs.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up is Brenda with High School Memories.
Hi, I did this painting when I was in school. It's about 62 years old. I don't understand how it's older than I am, but it's considered an antique. And I don't even know what I painted it with. I have a feeling it might have been oils. They probably didn't even have acrylic painting in those days. I don't know. But it's been in the garage and all the heat and everything. It probably is oils. And I didn't really have a name for it, but my husband came up with the name. I had to have a name for it. And I guess that's about it. I can't think of anything else. All right.
Thank you so much. And you can take this and put this back. Will you put this back on the easel? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Lainey could not be here this evening, but this is her piece. It's called Singing and Swinging.
I swung by Laney and Kevin's house today to pick it up, and she was telling me a little bit about it. She said, this is a picture of her granddaughter swinging on the swing. And she said, that's really me too. When I was a little girl, she said, that was me too swinging. I said, yeah, I bet your mother got mad that you were dragging your hair in the dirt. She said her hair was shorter at the time, but she would just swing and swing and swing as she was just singing all the songs she had learned at church. So painting her granddaughter kind of took her back to her own childhood memories.
Thank you so much. Next up is CCAL with Coconut Tree by the Bay. And next after that will be Yvonne. Thank you.
So I kind of like attached it. Oh,
Got it? Here, is it okay?
I think so. Yeah, it's around. So I attached it to the easel. So the easel had to come with it. There you go. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is CCAL, and this is my piece, Coconut Tree by the Bay. It is done in moss. This is preserved moss. So it's treated, it's maintenance free, it's processed, so it'll keep its color. And it's moss and stones. And this is based off of, so I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. And in Trinidad is the kind of country where you could like be at work in the morning and at the beach in the afternoon. So I, when, coming up with like, well, what childhood memory, I really thought fondly of all the times that my dad would pack our mom, well, not his mom, the kid's mom, and all 11 of his kids. Yep, I'm one of 11. And pack us into our patrol, and we'd go to Maracas Beach in Maracas Bay, and we would just have so much fun. We'd eat pilau on the beach, we'd play games in the water. So I really wanted to honor that memory, and that's why this is called Coconut Tree by the Bay. I don't know if you can see the coconut tree. And the trunk of the tree has 13 stones on it, one for each member of my family growing up. And, ask me about it and I can tell you where the hills are, where the water is, etc. Okay, that's all.
Thank you so much. Next up is Yvonne, and she has Memories. Ruth Collier, you'll be next.
When I saw this tree swing, just in the light that was hitting it, it just struck me. It brought peace. It brought memories back to being a child. I never had a tree swing, but I was always on my swing set. If I wasn't swinging on the swing, I was climbing up to the very, back then they were metal swings. So I was climbing along the top. I was doing loop-de-loop over the top, anything like that. I also enjoyed gymnastics, so it kind of made sense that I was doing all these things on my swing set. But I just think that seeing a swing like this or getting on a swing of any kind, it just gives you this freedom. You can soar in the air. You can feel like everything is yours, like you just dream, like it's magical. And so this brought back memories of just anytime you get on a swing. And it seems to be that this is a very popular theme because I saw a lot of other tire swings and swings. So I think swinging must have been something we all enjoyed, no matter what kind, if we were on a glider or a swing like this or a swing set, so many different things, but brought back lots of memories. And then when I saw this in special lighting where the light was just pouring out, I thought, that's the picture. So anyway, that's that.
Thank you so much. Next up is Ruth Collier with My Cats. And Tom Thompson, you'll be next. I don't know where he's saying. Oh, you'll be next. Got it, okay.
I've always loved and had cats all my life since childhood. And my present cat is the one that kind of posed for some of these. She's a black, mottled, what do they call it? Tortie. She's a tortie. And, but she looks almost black. But I'm not much of an artist, so I do silhouettes. You know, I don't really do the fur and the eyes. I have a lot of trouble with the eyes. I've done other cat pictures lately, and I just have trouble with the eyes, you know. But I've always had cats in my life. At one time, I had 4 cats and 2 dogs. But cats are just the greatest thing. You don't have to walk them. You don't have to tell them to stop barking and stuff like that. They sleep a lot. They do. They sleep a lot. They're lazy. And this is my cat love.
Thank you so much. Next up is Tommy Thompson with eggs. And Maureen, you'll be after. You know, I'm not sure. The camera. They can't see it online. Is it okay? Oh. I'll hold it for you.
Thank you. This was my grandfather's barn, and the whole family, there were 3 consecutive farms that were in uncles and aunts and that type of thing. Mom and my grandmother had a herd of chickens, and they delighted in selling the eggs. And not often in the wintertime would you get a mass of eggs from the chickens, but sometimes you would. So it was my job to go trudging through the snow to put the sign on the mailbox that there were eggs available. And that's what I remember.
They worked out just. Thank you so much. Okay, next up is Maureen Carter with Spider Monkey. And Stephanie, you'll be next.
Okay, this is a little embarrassing after seeing all the good stuff that's been up here. So when I was a kid, we would spend the summers up at my grandparents' house in Massachusetts. And next to their house, there was a stand of trees that ran down the hill to the road and everything. And these were the best climbing trees ever, anywhere. But also on Saturday morning, my sisters and I and a bunch of cousins would go to the matinee to go see some Tarzan movies. You remember Tarzan movies? And then we would come back and everybody would get up in the trees and reenact Tarzan. So I was the youngest, and they would never let me be anything except for the spider monkey. And that's me right there.
Thank you so much. Okay, Stephanie Arnold, you're next. And after Joe, you'll be.
Well, not everybody has delightful childhood memories. I grew up very poor, and I was the third of 3 daughters who got the original clothes secondhand. So by the time I got them, they were very worn. And as being the littlest, my older siblings would always go, "She's little, she doesn't eat much." So they would get all the big portions. And I was always very hungry. So I'd wait late at night and sneak into the kitchen to eat dog food. And my mom would line us all up and scold us and say, "Who's been feeding the dog too much?" And I'd always very truthfully say, "Not me." Because I wasn't feeding it to the dog. And the kids at school. I had a Jamaican accent because I was born in Jamaica, and they were merciless. So I would have to walk to school a different way every day to keep from being mobbed at school. My parents did not instruct me. I was in junior high and my teeth were green. I did not know I was supposed to brush them. And I did not know I had to take a shower and all of that. They never gave us any praise or affection. And when I had my own son, adored him so much. This is him. I painted a picture and I said, you know, even if um, what you go through is hard and the future looks like a brick wall, you can always look down and see the crack in the sidewalk where a dandelion grows. And I told him, I said, you know, no matter how hard our things, God always gives us a sunlight. And there's always a future promise because he loves you so. So this is future promise.
Thank you so much. Okay. And this is Joe.
See it down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell them the title? I didn't.
This is called Welsh Snowdrops. And I'm from England, and I'm from Great Britain, as many of you know. But we used to spend holidays in Wales. And I also went to college in Wales, in Cardiff, Wales. And very recently, my brother and his wife have moved to Wales. And my brother sends me pictures of the walks he goes on with his wife in the mornings and throughout the year. And he sent me a photograph of this beautiful path in Wales going down the road with these snowdrops. And I just remember from childhood, every spring, in just after Christmas, if it was snowing or very cold in England, anywhere where we were, there would be snowdrops and then eventually bluebells through the woods. So as soon as he sent me this picture of the snowdrops, it just reminded me of seeing snowdrops and bluebells in every spring. So it's really just a reminiscent of nature. And I don't often see these type things around here. So it just takes me back to my homeland. So Welsh snowdrops.
Thank you so much. Okay, and our last entry, Kathy Gardner with My Grandmother's Flocks.
I grew up in Ohio, and my grandmother was an avid gardener. In fact, I grew up in Cincinnati, and quite often her garden was part of the Cincinnati Enquirer's garden section. They'd come and photograph it. And she had all these phlox in her yard, and I really fell in love with gardening at that point. And so this is my grandmother's phlox.
Thank you so much. Okay, that is all the entries. Thank you all for sharing and good luck to all the contestants. We will now take a 10 to 15-minute break for everyone to go around the room and get a closer look if you didn't get a chance to earlier. And over here on this table, there's some pieces of paper and some pens, and you can mark your vote with the number. So there's a number at the bottom right-hand corner of each painting or each piece of art, and then you're going to put it in the ballot bucket when you're done. You have a question? Yes, one vote. One vote per member and non-member. Guests can vote as well. And then, oh, another question? Yes.
I think it's gonna be hard. Usually you would vote on the quality of the work, but the story.
I agree. Well, I guess you have to make that decision for yourself. Because you've been presented with both options, so you get to choose. Yep. Pick your favorite, whatever that means to you. You can vote for whatever your favorite piece is. If your piece is your favorite, you can vote for yours. Okay. Okay, last call. The votes are in. If everyone will just find their seat. While we're finding our seats, I just want to mention that all the entries will hang in the tap gallery after the show tonight, and they will stay there throughout the summer. Okay. Yes, please. Mhm. And if you don't have a label today, that's okay. I will make one for you, and it will be hung with your painting by tomorrow or the next day. Okay, so all the votes are in. So we'll start with third place, and third place goes to CCAL Nathan with A Tree by the Bay.
Is that a picture?
Did you? Yeah. Do you want to get your piece?
Oh.
Oh well.
To bring the whole thing, right?
Well. Okay, and for second place, we have Tommy Thompson with eggs. Would you like me to hold it? Or hold this? I'll hold this for you.
There we go. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Easels are falling off.
I'm close.
Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And first place goes to Stephanie Arnold. Congratulations. Okay, thank you to all who entered and congratulations to the winners.
Yes, thank you, Jasmine, so much for handling all of this. You know, you've been working hard with all the preparation and all the announcements and everything, and then to finally put it together for tonight. And thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who brought paintings and artwork. It was just really nice to be able to see things up close, have people tell their stories behind the artwork, because so many times we're looking at our artwork hanging in a gallery or somewhere at a contest, and we don't know what's the background of it. You know, what inspired you to do that work. So this was really special. So thank you to everybody. Congratulations to all the winners. All right, before we dismiss tonight, we have door prizes. And since we normally have a speaker that will give our door prize numbers, so we don't have a speaker tonight. So I've asked our guest, Kim, over here, Jasmine's friend, to give us some numbers. So as she calls out numbers, I will hand out door prizes. So Kim, we have 42 people that have signed in that are here tonight. So give us the number between 1 and 42. 27 is Tommy Thompson. There you go. Congratulations. Okay, another number. 13 is Brenda Clark. Lucky 13. All right, another number. Number 4 is Joe Alford. Congratulations, Joe. Okay, since this is our last meeting of the year, we have some extra door prizes. So another number. Number 9 is Brian Byer. I might have to go with him. All right, another number. 37 is Jan Lane. Congratulations. Go find something fun. And I have one more. Number 10 is Jackie Tice. There you go. You're welcome. Okay, it's been a great evening. Thank you all for coming tonight. Again, thank you for encouraging me as your president, and I'm excited for our new slate of officers, and I'm ready to turn it over to Michael Naughton. So we look forward to hearing from Michael in September, unless he wants to say anything now. You're good right now. Okay. All right, we'll dismiss this meeting, adjourn the meeting, and thank you again so much. Remember to take your artwork and hang it in the tap gallery. Have a great summer.